The Bridezilla discarded me after using me for her wedding.
Oh no.
Longtime good friends of mine announced they were getting married. I had been friends with both of them since childhood. We went to school together, stayed at each other's houses, our parents socialized with each other. Basically, best friends of mine. We remained in touch socially and had attended each other's family events frequently over the years. I was part of the fairly large group that made up the gang that eventually made up the wedding party. By the way, this comes from user Speedy Pete's. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give you good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments. As OP says, Bridezilla always had to be the center of attention, but that was not unusual behavior in our group of friends. She was not the only one who needed to always be the star at social gatherings, and her groomzilla would do outrageous things to get attention too.
Aw, they're made for each other.
They were two peas in a pod. They were destined to end up together, really. I was one of the more shy ones of the group, so I was kind of grateful Bridezilla was one of the extroverts and kept the focus firmly on herself whenever possible. When they announced they were getting married, it was no great surprise. It was going to be a destination wedding for about half the guests. The rest of family and friends lived close by the destination, so it made sense to hold it there and make it a fun weekend getaway. They handed out save-the-date cards at the engagement party, which was a lovely event at the local rowers club. I was then pulled aside at the engagement party by bride and groomzilla, and in front of their parents officially invited to be a part of the wedding party. They asked me to assist the bride with organizing some things in person because we cannot trust anyone else with this like we can with you. I was extremely flattered to be asked in this manner and thought it indicated how close and strong our friendship remained. I, of course, agreed to both being a part of the wedding party and to assisting Bridezilla, as most of her immediate family and wedding party lived near the destination. The request was worded that I would be part of the wedding party officially as only a bridesmaid because the maid of honor was her older sister, but unofficially the co-maid of honor because the bride knew I could handle the great responsibility this would be. Her sister lived near the destination and was busy as a stay-at-home mom to 3 little ones, so I agreed. Everyone was happy and all seemed right with the world. Time went by and I ended up doing a lot of running around to all sorts of appointments with Bridezilla, apologizing for her increasingly outlandish and entitled behavior to the staff at these appointments. I was the one phoning places to confirm or change things as she came up with new ideas, taking calls from venues and suppliers regularly, and organizing the other members of the bridal party. It was much more work than I expected, but other friends from our group assured me that a maid of honor did a ton of stuff and that it was typical. I had agreed to it, and her sister was far too busy and far away to be involved. It was taking up most of my free time when I wasn't working. I've never been a maid of honor before, so I went along with it because, with the reassurances of the rest of our friends, I was told constantly it was not over the top and it was their day, their way, until their reassurances started to sound more like pleas for me to not quit. The number of hen/stag, shower kitchen, bridegroom, pre-wedding parties, and events that were planned and I was organizing single-handedly became ridiculous. I had only initially thought I would need to organize a kitchen tea and hen night. I advised Groomzilla that he needed to get his best man to organize their events. That ended up being a shouting match between bride and groomzilla about who was having the more memorable event.
Yikes. That's exhausting.
This sounds like you got a real great group of friends here.
Yeah. Sounds like they are made for each other, though.
To keep things calm, I ended up organizing the groom's events too, which in hindsight may have been why they staged the shouting match. Once I said I would do it, they were all beaming smiles and hugged me. I tried to keep things affordable so that it was not going to put people into debt, but both bride and groom's families were well off, and Bridezilla needed things to be memorable. I want people to be talking about my wedding for years after.
Hey.
You have a wedding so that you want people to talk about it? Like, shouldn't you have a wedding because it's like you want it to be a good memory for you and your husband?
Shouldn't you have a wedding to just marry your husband and be happy?
Just giving pick me.
I want my wedding to be so good that when other people have their wedding, they're like, oh my God, like, I just want to throw myself into the ocean because my wedding will never be as good as mine.
I don't even know if
you're
that's
terrible.
pick me. So much is just
I
like
hate you.
exhausting.
Nah. I want you to do a secret wedding where it's actually no one gets married and have to reckon with your own faults. She insisted on expensive, overly complicated events and shot down anything suggested otherwise. They were all in the $200+ per person per event range. It ended up at least 6 separate events for Bridezilla's side alone, not including the hen and stag parties and the wedding itself. The other thing that really bugged me was every event inevitably had someone loudly suggest the bride and groom should not be paying for anything, and so all the other attendees would need to increase their contribution to cover the costs. Of course, Bridezilla and her groom would never protest these suggestions. It ended up about $2,000 if you were going to all of these events as a guest, but $0 for the bride or groom, which seemed completely entitled and selfish on their part, as they most definitely could afford to pay their way. I'd say $2,000?
$2,000 a person and they're not paying a thing?
Just the fact that you could expect your friends to pay $2,000 or expect me to pay $2,000 to go to your, I'm sure, lame events.
It's gonna be so staged and so like just having to do things a bunch of times to make it like perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be like, okay, and now's the time where you guys all build us a farmhouse.
Right.
You get the honor of building me property.
Yeah.
That's going to cost $400 for materials.
I feel like this is going to go so crazy as like they're going to show up and they're going to be like, okay, my feet shall not touch the ground the whole day. You guys will carry me everywhere.
Yeah, the way I would lose this person's number and not go to their wedding is insane.
Yeah, I'm not paying $2,000 after all that.
I should have cut my losses at this point and walked away. Psh, dude, isn't hindsight the worst? But I was heavily guilted into attending and remaining involved by Bridezilla and the other family members. Sunk cost fallacy, I think, is the term. Stupidity is probably more accurate. 3 weeks before the wedding, bride and groomzilla told us their exciting news. Their respective families decided to surprise them with yet another wedding gift, and were hosting a week-long pre-wedding vacation for them with a range of events organized at the destination city. All guests attending the wedding were invited to participate in this extravaganza at their own cost for flights and accommodation. There was a silver lining, however. Bridezilla's parents were graciously paying for private buses to take all the attendees to and from the hotel and events. The bride and groom's families had booked into the same luxury boutique hotel near the marina for the pre-wedding week, the wedding, and the week after, just because they felt like it. So if you were not staying at the same hotel, you needed to get yourself to their hotel to take advantage of this bus offer. It was designed to allow a repeat of all the showers, hens, etc., so the rest of the family and friends did not miss out. That was going to work out at just over $5,000 a head to attend all the events. No, have fun having no one at your wedding events. Honestly, no, I'm not going to anything.
The events are optional, right?
Yeah, I guess, but I'm sure that these people are like, well, if you really
Right, I'm
care
sure
about
they're gonna
us, you
affect-
come to these events. It's only money. What matters more, our friendship or money?
I'm sure too it's kind of like they expect the wedding party to be there, but that's ridiculous. At that point, you got to pay for the wedding party to be in some of them.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Amanda K says pre-wedding vacation. Seriously? Yeah.
It's called
it's
a
just
honeymoon.
Called a honeymoon.
It happens
Stupid.
after.
You guys are ridiculous. Of course, bride and groomzilla were again non-paying attendees, and other attendees were covering their contributions. Also, looking at another $3,000 to stay at the boutique hotel where they had reserved suites. Bride and groomzilla both worked extremely well-paying jobs in their respective family corporations, so they had never had to worry about job insecurity. The house they lived in and the one next to it they rented out had been bought outright for them by both sets of parents as engagement presents. These parents are buying them 2 houses as an engagement present?
And a pre-wedding vacation.
I've never heard a story where these people have been so spoiled.
They're so spoiled.
This is disgusting.
Just literally the most entitled degenerate.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to insult these people.
Hey, you know what's gonna be crazy? Go ahead.
I want to know, like, when it comes to the actual wedding, are bridesmaids like also paying for their dress and their makeup and their hair?
100%.
Like, is anything
100%.
paid for?
What I was gonna say is, hey, once you're 6 feet into the ground, you're 6 feet in the ground.
This is one of those, these feel like the kind of a-holes who are like, well, how do you think we made all this money? By spending it? We save it. We invest it.
You made all
doesn't
this
make any
money
sense
because
for
you
us to
joined the
spend."
family business.
We have to make the best wedding in history. Nobody else can top this. it's gonna be the best.
but it's going to cost you $8,000.
Yeah, you have to pay to come to our wedding.
They were quite put out when I said I could only make the wedding and not the whole pre-wedding week, and could only make it the night before the wedding and leave the day after because of finances and needing to go back to work. They seemed to have no understanding of that. As a single person working a normal casual shift work type job, I could not afford to just take time off for that length of time with little notice and expect to have a job when I got back, let alone have the money to pay for all the extra events on top of all the other expenses. I'm sure I was not the only wedding guest who could not attend the pre-wedding week, but I was the only bridal party member not there. Bridezilla kept texting me to update me on what I was missing and posting on her socials about some people not being committed enough to celebrate their dream with them fully and completely. This is when I'm calling the IRS and being like, these companies need to be audited. I'm calling the Better Business Bureau and I'm leaving complaints about their business not operating above board. I'm going to actively sabotage this wedding. I would be so annoyed.
I bet these people don't tip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is when I really should have told them, thanks, but I'm out. I can no longer afford this. But I had already booked accommodation and flights for the wedding months before, and I would have lost money if I canceled. The weekend for the wedding itself was costing me a week's wages. I was staying about an hour's taxi ride away from the venue because it was the cheapest, decent-looking place I could find. I got the cheapest flights I could, and the plane unexpectedly departed very late due to a technical issue, so it landed late, well after the airport bus shuttle service finished, on which I had booked a seat. So I lost that money. I was lucky at the airport to get talking to one of the information desk ladies, and she phoned the free taxi shuttle service they were trialing. That saved me having to sleep in the airport. Day of the wedding, I showed up as planned at their hotel. There was a very noticeable coolness when I arrived from Bridezilla and the rest of the bridal party, but I dismissed it as stress of the occasion and me feeling overly sensitive. I was given quite a number of last-minute tasks to do and was running around for a while until mid-afternoon, so I had not even got a chance to get dressed properly in my bridesmaid dress, which I had brought with me. I finally stopped long enough to notice the rest of the bridal party were done having their hair and makeup, and the photographer was snapping the bridal session. I approached the stylist, apologizing profusely for not realizing the time, and was about to sit down in the chair when one of the aunts of the bride suddenly appeared beside me. She took my arm and saying, "Oh, darling, no, not you. You aren't needed anymore, so you can go now. Off you go," and physically pushed me out of the hotel suite without the bridesmaid outfit. I found out later it had been given to a cousin on the groom's side to wear and step into the bridal party because Bridezilla decided they were a better fit for a family event, and it was obvious I was not committed to celebrating their wedding properly.
That's wild too, because she probably doesn't have another dress.
Yeah.
You only go to a wedding with the dress you're gonna wear, so she just can't go to the wedding now.
Nah, I'm still going. F that.
I'm not going.
Nah, I'm not going.
I'm gonna look up the coolest thing to do near that venue, and I'm gonna do that.
Not gonna lie, I would make it, this happening after planning all of that stuff, I would have to make it my mission to ruin these people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would wonder if there was any way that you could go back and like send them
No, because you would ruin
like
the
an
wedding.
invoice for all the work. Be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were hiring me as a contractor for your wedding," or something.
Because again, they want
I
to.
don't think you can because there's no signed contract.
These people want a picture perfect wedding. You already being there, not making it perfect. So you being there, it's already.
Yeah, I don't really want to be there though.
I don't want to be there either, but it's time to get petty.
I wouldn't go.
Yeah, I'd go to the wedding and be like, "I slept with the groom.
No, I was gonna say that.
I slept with the groom. He'll never admit it. He said I was better than you. I slept with the groom."
I would leave and just not even bother.
A lot of people are saying just ruin the wedding.
That's fine. My advice is I wouldn't. I think it's fine if you want to.
What are we doing today, Riley?
Today we're playing a little game.
Oh, I
Oh.
love
A
games.
game, says the
Yes.
man.
I bought 3 special gifts for you guys from eBay. Each one picked with one of you in mind.
Aw.
Okay, these guys
special
right
gifts.
here.
Riley, you're the
Excited.
best.
He's got one in his, that's a lot of box.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
boxes.
I wonder what's in the box.
I feel like eBay has a lot of great things with potential for great memories. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's in here.
I wanted to kind of let our viewers know what these gifts made you think of.
So we guess whose gift is whose.
Exactly.
Oh, it's a game.
Ah,
It's a
the
game.
reveals itself.
Okay, so should I open mine first?
I was
I'm
thinking
excited.
Keon. We can start
Okay,
with
well,
Keon.
fine.
All right.
Biggest for
I
last.
didn't want to open it
Put your
anyway.
big box down.
It's like a cylinder. What's in?
You got me a
Whoa.
cylinder?
Whoa.
Okay.
That is
look at these
awesome.
colors.
I think I know
I
exactly
think I
who
know
that's
who this is for.
I feel like I'm a colorful man.
This is the most vibrant man in the room.
I have been wanting to wear more colors, but this looks perfect.
And Dakota, I got something for you.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah?
To open up, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
It's another, well, cylinder-like.
Yep.
I wonder what it is.
Ooh, I like how you
Ooh,
opened
that
that.
is definitely...
Whoa.
Your
Talk about
vibrant colors.
Dang.
Oh, mama.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at that. I know this got to be for me, right?
Oh, yeah, it's so, totally for
Yeah,
you.
another colorful man. I have one more
Got
gift.
one more.
I guess I don't get a gift.
We know who that's for.
And
What is it?
it is a cowboy hat.
Oh,
I feel like this has got to be Keon.
Hey, rootin'
guys.
tootin'.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Nice.
The ye to my ha.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
Riley,
Ride him, cowboy.
we love two-stepping. We love line dancing. I've been telling him I need a cowboy hat, and guess what? He got me a cowboy
got
hat.
one.
Boom.
It fits really well too.
Yeah, right?
Thank you, Riley.
I got the biggest size they had.
To make sure it fit your large head.
Thank you so much, Riley. These are such thoughtful
Thanks,
gifts.
Riley.
It was really fun picking these out for you guys on eBay. They got like a million like things on there.
I
Yeah.
will randomly browse eBay for fun.
You can find some crazy things on there.
Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
I was incredibly hurt and confused at being shoved out of the room without the dress I had paid for and brought with me. I had a good cry in a bathroom and then dusted myself off mentally and prepared to attend the wedding, seeing as I had spent so much time involved with it. The ceremony was on a remote beach location, an hour's boat trip away from the hotel at the marina. The parents were taking all the guests to it in their private hired vessel. They even had their own security guards checking off names on the list. I was thinking to myself I was glad I had worn something nice enough that day. Even though I had thought I would be part of the bridal party and wearing the bridesmaid outfit, I did not want to show up looking terrible in front of their families.
Are you gonna be on the list to get on the boat?
I hope so. I was wearing similar attire to other guests already on board, so approached the security to board, invitation in my purse, and was told, sorry, not on the list, please leave the area.
Called it. They don't want you there. They have a way to make sure you can't get there.
I'd be furious.
I'd be pissed for sure. You can swim.
I'm renting my own boat. I've already paid so much money for this. I'm renting my own boat. I'm going to that destination and I'm causing a ruckus.
I have no words for the level of slime that these people are.
They were planning that the whole time.
I politely disagreed with the guards and said I must be on the list because I'd been invited to the wedding and pulled the invitation out to show them. They looked at it, checked the list again, and said, sorry, not on the list. You'll have to leave the area. I was now visibly distressed, and the guards were looking uncomfortable as I stood there trying to call her mother, not answering, while they boarded other guests. That was when I happened to notice some of the guests I recognized, Groomzilla and his groomsmen on board, pointing and laughing at me. That was when it finally sunk in, and I gave up, walked back to the hotel lobby, and called a taxi to take me back to where I was staying. By the time I had got back to my accommodation, I had been blocked on all social media, and probably for phone calls too, but I didn't bother to keep ringing once I left the marina. I had decided I would just sit in the pool at the accommodation and quietly, mentally check out for the evening and head home the next day. But the universe had other plans.
Ooh.
There was a great bunch of other guests at the accommodation having a birthday bash around the pool and barbecue area for one of them. They welcomed me into their celebrations like I was a long-lost family member, and I've even stayed in touch with some of them to this day. I even ended up having a much better time that weekend with strangers than people I considered chosen family. And by the way, you can choose to listen to more full episodes of stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. We have a little bit more story left. I'm glad that you found some people worth hanging out with. I wouldn't stop until these people were ruined in some way.
I already see a divorce coming.
Oh, 100%. They're just gonna one-up each other until they eventually...
But OP should plant the seed. I'm sorry. Like I know
think
I don't.
that there's probably something that you can do to call or like report or something. I wouldn't go and do anything in person because I think they're just gonna purposely try to embarrass you more and probably just have security physically escort you out. And I don't think that's worth it. But I think there's ways to get other people there that can try to do something about it.
Nah, don't worry. Karma will get him.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring.
Well, let's finish this story. I know people will think I was an idiot for not realizing sooner that they probably had never genuinely planned for me to be anything but some kind of unpaid wedding coordinator. I just genuinely got blindsided by it because I believed I was still a valued member of our friendship group. They had never acted like they looked down on me, as we had grown up in the same area and went to the same schools. It was only after uni and I started working in a very different field to them and was not earning the same money as them that obviously things changed in their minds. However, they never indicated to me I was now not part of the gang anymore, as they invited me to the same things and our families still socialized in the same way. They never acted like I was less than them until the wedding. It was through friends of friends I found out the other information long after the wedding was over. Bride and groomzilla never spoke to me or my family again after that. No great loss in the end, if that was how they treated people, not at their same financial level. Definitely better off without them in my life. And that is the end of that story. Good perspective to have.
How much OP ended up spending in total, because I know she didn't go to everything, so she didn't spend the full, 7K at the end, but I'm sure with everything she probably still did enough. And I see people saying in the chat, technically she paid for that dress, so that dress is hers. And
Yep.
Yeah, I said invoice for the wedding coordination, but going to small claims or some sort, fully just being not gonna talk to you, then not gonna talk to anybody, you'll be hearing from someone in when you get served papers.
I'm sure though with the amount of financial assets they have, they could just bury you in lawyers.
Small
if
claims
they wanted
though,
to, which I'm sure they could. I mean, couldn't you bury someone with lawyers in small claims too? I don't know how that works.
I think sometimes small claims you're representing yourself.
Yeah, but that's just because you can choose to, right? I don't know.
I
hope their boat sinks. And that's the end of that story. I hope 100 flying monkeys rain on their wedding and pick everyone up and throw them in the Laurentian abyss. That's what I hope.
I refuse to give up my inheritance to pay for my sister's wedding.
Yeah, probably it's a good move.
My dad passed away last year after a long illness. It was devastating. I, 28 female, was the one who moved back home to take care of him. I handled doctor's appointments, late night emergencies, bills, and basically ran the house when he couldn't anymore. It was exhausting, but I don't regret it. He and I got very close during that time. By the way, this comes from Extension Gold 3149. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my sister, 32 female, on the other hand, lives out of state. She came back twice in the last year of his life, once for Christmas and once for his birthday. I don't think she's a bad person, but she definitely distanced herself from the responsibility. Her excuse was that she had her own life and couldn't just drop everything. I understood at the time, but it still hurt. When Dad passed, his will specifically left me a decent chunk of money. Not millions, but enough that I could pay off my student loans and actually start saving for a house. It was clear in the will that this money was for me because of the sacrifices I made while caring for him. My sister received other things. He left her some jewelry and a classic car he had restored that she always loved, but the majority of liquid assets went to me. Fast forward to now. My sister got engaged in May. Her fiance is nice enough, but they both have champagne tastes on an adult soda budget. The wedding they're planning is way out of their price range. Destination resort, designer dress, open bar, huge guest list. I assumed they were going into debt for it, which I thought was their choice. But then, about a month ago, my sister sat me down and said, I need your help. Dad would have wanted you to use some of that inheritance to make my wedding special.
Yeah, but he actually wouldn't. That's the thing. He actually didn't say in the will that he wanted me to spend it on your stupid wedding. Remember how you couldn't make it? Remember how you were too busy because you had your own life? I actually have my own life too.
It's in the sacred text.
What?
It's in the writing from his will.
The sacred texts.
The sacred text.
She wasn't asking for a small loan. She wanted me to hand over $30,000 to cover the venue and catering.
I'd send her 300 pennies.
I told her no. I said that Dad left me that money for a reason, and I'm using it to build stability in my life, not blow it on a party. She immediately got defensive and accused me of being selfish and choosing money over family. Now my mom has gotten involved. She says Dad would have wanted me to share and that family comes first. I told her dad literally wrote a will that reflected his wishes, and if he wanted to fund my sister's wedding, he would have set aside money for that. Mom keeps saying I'm tearing the family apart. My sister has been telling relatives that I'm punishing her for not being around when dad was sick, which makes me feel sick to my stomach because it's kind of true. I am resentful. But it also feels unfair that the person who did all the work gets nothing, and the one who barely showed up gets rewarded.
Yeah, wait, can you imagine her telling the families, like, yeah, she's not, she's taking it out on me because I wasn't there for dad being sick. And everyone's like,
Why weren't you there for dad being sick?
wait, you weren't there for when your dad was sick?
Yeah, just, Can
Wait,
you run
say that one more
last
time.
Part? Can you
Say
run that by
one
me one more
really
time,
slow.
actually?
Some cousins are on her side and have texted me things like, it's just money, you'll make more, and your dad would have wanted her to have a special day. Others, thankfully, have said it's insane she's even asking. Now my sister says she won't invite me to the wedding unless I do the right thing.
These dumbasses are saying, it's just money. How about you give her yours?
Yeah.
Since it's just money.
Just
you give her
money.
your money, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's different now, isn't it?
I was going to say, I don't think that it's wrong to maybe, out of your own kindness, maybe be like, I'll do something special for you. Like maybe like, I'll give you a really big budget to buy a cool dress, like a really pretty dress that you've wanted. And that'll be like my contribution to your wedding. Like not something that's going to be crazy expensive, but something that's like a couple $1,000s more than she probably would have spent.
No, should just pick out a $15,000 wedding
No,
dress.
but you cap it still. You'd be like, you have $5,000 to find a dress or $10,000 to buy
And
a
I
dress.
guarantee you, she'd be like, I don't know. That's not a good enough present.
Well, I'm saying like offer something like that. And if she wants to turn that down, then bye.
That's what you're going to do for me?
Honestly,
gave
though,
you
after
the cool
you
thing.
already, like, before she's like, yeah, give me 30K, and it's like, yeah, sure, you do
Right.
that. As soon as she's like, yo, no, give me 30K.
I think
I'm
if
gonna
she
give you
came-
exactly nothing now.
I think if she came and she was like, yeah, also, like Kat said, she has a really nice car.
And was it? Didn't she say like, "Oh, I'm too busy to make it to the funeral," or
I
to
don't
or
remember
what
something
was
about
it?
the
The
funeral.
beginning. What was it? She's like, "Oh, I have my own life. I can't make it."
Yeah.
What? And it was to what? To like see their dad off.
Just out more times. She only came out for Christmas and his birthday. She said she just couldn't come home more than that. I'd
outta
offer
here.
like
Get outta
something
here.
tiny and then be like, okay, you don't want to take that? That was me being generous. Nothing. Certainly not $30,000. And it would be all gone after this part because now my sister says she won't invite me to the wedding at all unless I do the right thing.
She's threatening you?
Yeah.
Oh
I'd
my
be like,
gosh,
cool,
you're
great.
threatening me because you want my money. Oh my gosh.
At that point, sounds like I'm actually really busy with my own life the weekend of your wedding. I know I don't know what weekend it is yet, but I'm really busy that weekend. I don't think I can come anyway.
Sorry, I have my own life. I can't just drop everything for your wedding.
My mom is begging me to reconsider for the sake of peace, but honestly, I can't see myself handing over $30K just so my sister can have a fancy Instagram wedding while I put my future on hold. Still, the guilt is eating at me. Am I really the knucklehead for refusing to share my inheritance with my sister to pay for her wedding? We have some comments, but no.
What would be extra funny is if you spent $30,000 on really elaborate skywriting. And had
Skywriting?
skywriters,
Oh, writing.
airplanes, write "Happy Future Divorce" over your sister's wedding. That'd be great.
Crazy.
It's your wedding. It's my money. Do whatever you want with your wedding. I'll do whatever I want with my money.
Dad specified it was to me. Top comments. Temporary bench 5095 says, stand your ground and hold your boundaries. No one needs or is entitled to an extravagant wedding. They chose to plan outside of their budget. They can figure it out. Their request is selfish and rude. Glass Armadillo 9871 says, tell her, you are right. Family comes first. Dad is family, and respecting his wishes comes first. Don't tell me what Dad would have wanted. I know because he literally wrote it down. Don't ask me to disrespect my passed away father's final wishes. Viola Swamp says, you're right, family comes first. That's why I made sacrifices to be there for Dad when he needed help. You chose to prioritize yourself, as you're doing now. I don't owe you anything, and you're not getting a cent from me. Wouldn't turn in. Right, she's using family comes first, only when it's convenient for her. Arwen's Rose says, you are right, family comes first, which is why I moved home and took care of dad. Mic drop. Hey pretty lady ma'am says, and if her wedding is so important to her, she can sell her vintage restored classic car for the $30K she expects from her sister. OP, tell her dad already gave her money for the wedding. She just doesn't want to part with her inheritance when she can keep hers and scam you for yours. Tell your family she got the money she needed from dad already. She can sell her share if she's that desperate. I'm so tired of selfish, lazy siblings refusing to do their part and demanding the rewards. Stop feeling guilty. Send her an auto trader and tell her to get cracking. That car ain't selling itself and you're not giving her money she already has. Relishing Nonsense says, OP, tell her dad already gave her money for her wedding. And responding to that comment, yes, this is perfect. Sister is choosing to have a fancy wedding. If she thinks dad would have wanted her to have it, then she can sell the car and pay for it. He probably didn't give her cash because he knew she would waste it on something like an overpriced wedding. Why do people think you should give up financial safety nets so that she can play pretty princess for a day? A good marriage doesn't need an expensive wedding. OP, did you have to give up working or work less while you were taking care of your dad? Your sister didn't. If you did, then you could point out that your dad understood that taking care of him had set you back financially, hence the liquid funds, etc. We have an update 2 days later.
Dude, everyone in these stories, it's like the worst people I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, the second she's like, you're not coming to my wedding then, I'm like, okay.
Prioritize peace. What is your mom smoking? Get out of here. Your sister's trying to extort money out of you by not allowing you to go to her wedding, which she is choosing to make extravagantly too expensive.
Yeah,
because
30K
she is
is wild.
vain and shallow. Too self-important to show up for her ailing father who passed away and in his wisdom left his liquid assets to the child who actually gave a crap about him and still left her a restored sports car.
And other stuff. She was left stuff. But we have an update 2 days later. I didn't expect to be writing again so soon, but the last couple of days have been a whirlwind. I've cried, I've screamed into pillows, and at one point, I've just sat in the dark, staring at the ceiling, wondering what the heck happened to my family. After my first post, things with my sister kept escalating. She kept sending me guilt-trippy texts saying things like, if you really loved me, you'd do this for me.
Don't love you. I don't love you. Sorry.
Sorry, she doesn't love you. She loves money.
I love the money more than you, I guess.
And you're choosing money over your only sister. I was holding strong, but it still hurt.
I would have pulled up, what about my only father?
Yeah.
Then something came out that I wasn't prepared for. One of my cousins, who's been quietly on my side, told me my sister hasn't exactly been faithful to her fiance. At first, I didn't believe it. It sounded too wild and too cruel. But then they showed me messages. My sister has been seeing a man from her job for months. Married man. She apparently told my cousin she's not even sure she wants to marry her fiance. But she's going through with the wedding anyway because everything's already in motion and she deserves the spotlight after a hard year.
Oh my god. Wow, we really are reading like the worst people today.
Put her in the river, dude.
That's insane. The fact that she's like, yeah, I don't want to marry this guy, but I deserve the spotlight.
Everyone, so
I've had a hard year.
Tell the fiance, tell the wife of the man she's cheating on him with.
She's had a hard year.
Everyone needs to know what's going on.
And I guarantee you, she's just saying that she's had a hard year. She's using the passing of her father that she wasn't there for, helping out as an excuse. To be like, yeah, I really deserved it.
She's had a hard year trying to live this double life.
You deserve a razor scooter to the shins.
I would literally respond to the sister and be like, all right, you really want to play this game? You want to keep pushing my buttons? Push it one more time. I want to see you try.
You deserve Nair in your shampoo bottle.
I want to see you do it.
I felt like I'd been punched. Not because I care about her fiance that much, we've never been close, but because it shattered the last bit of moral ground she had to stand on. She's been calling me selfish, manipulative, greedy, all while living a double life. Here's the part that broke me. My mom knows. She admitted it when I confronted her last night. She says she walked in on my sister late at night, whispering on the phone, and when she pushed her, my sister confessed. Mom's exact words to me were, "She just needs to get it out of her system. Once she's married, she'll settle down. Don't ruin this for her."
Nah, I'm not going to ruin anything for her. She ruined it.
Yeah, your mom's
And
crazy
did you
too.
do this to my dad? Is what I would immediately then ask. Yeah, so did you do this too? Is it running the family?
Mom's just as stinky as the sister.
Mom's a little cuckoo.
Golden child. I think someone said it earlier. It was golden child, but this is giving golden child.
I don't even know who my mother is anymore. The woman who raised me to believe in honesty and integrity is now telling me to keep quiet while my sister destroys her relationship and another family's marriage, all so we can have a happy event to cover the grief of losing dad. And here's the kicker. My sister is still hammering me for the money, still saying dad would want me to share, still threatening to cut me out of her life completely. She has no idea I know what she's doing. Part of me wants to out her, tell her fiance, tell the whole dang family, throw the truth like a grenade and walk away. Another part of me is exhausted. I already spent years holding my dad's hand in hospitals while everyone else lived their lives. Do I really want to take on this burden too? For now, I've decided to step back. I'm not going to her wedding, invite or no invite. I won't be there. I took more of the inheritance and paid down my student loans today, and I cried when I saw my balance shrink. Not out of guilt this time, but relief, because dad left me that money so I could finally breathe. And by the way, you can finally breathe a sigh of relief because you can always listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, your favorite podcast app, search up Storytime.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Tell everybody, dude. Throw the grenade.
Yeah.
Throw the grenade. I'd want to have the grenade thrown if I was him.
I'd say do it.
If I was you, I wouldn't be able to help myself. Why are there so many flies in here
I think
today?
it's just one that's like really good.
There's one here. There's one flying above me. She's ruining her future. She's ruining someone else's marriage. She's ruined her relationship with you. And if your mom is like, I don't know what to call it, short-sighted. If your mom is silly enough to try to tell you that that's your fault, cut them both off.
Yeah, I feel like this was probably like the sister was always closer to mom, and she was probably always way closer to dad. So it's like she doesn't have her little sidekick anymore.
It sounds like your mom cheated on your dad.
I know, that too.
How else would she be okay with this?
Got a little bit more. My sister might never forgive me. My mom might never understand me. And maybe I'll be painted as the villain for the rest of my life. But at least I know, deep down, I'm not the one lying to everyone. I just wish dad was still here. He'd cut through all this noise in 5 seconds flat. That is the end of that story. So sorry for your loss of your dad, too. And you're doing the right thing. Pay down those student loans.
R.I.P.
But that's the end of that story. We got another one.
My stepdaughter's mother is furious that I'm the one walking her down the aisle.
Who does she want to walk down the aisle?
Trigger warning, substance abuse. For background, I married my husband, Frank, at 24 years old. He was also 24 and had 2 children from his previous relationship, a daughter, Cindy, 6 at the time of our marriage, currently 22, and son, Max, 7.5 at the time, currently 23. By the way, this comes from user InnerResearch8819, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit where this story was submitted. And we are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments. And an OP says, their biological mother, Stephanie, who was the same age as Frank and myself, decided at 20 she was too young to be a mother. She and my husband separated, and Stephanie gave up her legal rights to her children. My husband's family stepped in to help him during that time. I lived several towns over and met my husband in passing, and it was magical. We built a wonderful home and family together. I adopted his children and became their mom.
Aww.
Now for the tragic events that occurred.
Oh.
10 years into our marriage, my husband suffered a severe back injury. He received surgery and was doing well with physical therapy and his doctors. We thought we actually beat this, and it was a small setback in an otherwise healthy relationship. Unfortunately, my husband became addicted to pain medication and passed away several years ago.
God.
The memories are still painful, and our children are still struggling with the memories of their father. I have always said to remember the man he was prior to his substance use disorder and passing. I do blame myself in the end for asking him to leave. It was too much on the children and myself. We tried rehabs, methadone, NA, you name it. If it was available, we tried. However, the toll of maintaining a household and making sure the children were well cared for was too much. It broke my heart. I blame the doctors, and I blame the companies for making those pills. And I blame my husband for not being honest and telling me sooner about his problems. I still love him and remember the man he was before all of this. I mourn the loss of that man the most. Now for the current situation. My daughter Cindy is getting married to her high school sweetheart and love of her life. Cindy has been through a lot and has been my greatest friend. I'm so proud and grateful for her and my son Max. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to survive and thrive after the loss of Frank. Cindy's wedding is in a few months, and even though her biological mother isn't in her life, except for the random cards and calls, she did invite Stephanie to the wedding as a guest. Stephanie is remarried and has a new family of her own. 2 twin boys, aged 10, and a husband named John. Cindy asked me to give her away at the wedding, as well as being the mother of the bride. I was proud to give her away and share this special moment with her. I was a supportive mother of the bride. I let her choose the dress and didn't interfere with anything. This is Cindy's special day. Now, this week, coming to my house, Cindy was in tears. Her mother called her and was furious that she was listed as a guest on the invitation and not as her proper title as mother of the bride. Cindy said her mother was furious, but she didn't care. Stephanie was never there, and she didn't see her as her mother. Yeah. Because she gave up her parental rights to be your mother. She's on, I don't know what she's on. Cindy said she was upset over the hurtful words Stephanie said to her. Once I got Cindy calmed down, I asked if she would like me to talk to Stephanie about this, and Cindy agreed. Cindy said if Stephanie was not going to be supportive, she's not welcome anymore. I called Stephanie as soon as Cindy left the house. Stephanie answered with, "Oh, it's you." I told her to excuse herself and check it. Stephanie said she would not because I'm stealing her rightful place. Her only daughter is getting married, and she's not listed as the mother of the bride. It's bad enough that I'm giving her only daughter away, but it's wrong that a barren woman is stealing her only daughter. She said that I should have had children of my own if I wanted to be a mother of the bride.
Stephanie, shut up. You should have been a mother of your kids.
Yeah, Stephanie literally...
you have no place to talk.
You have your words have no value. You are irrelevant to this conversation. I hung up after that and texted Stephanie that she's no longer welcome as a guest at Cindy's wedding if this is how she feels. Cindy, Max's, my mother's, and my own phone are being spammed by extended family members of Stephanie's family. This includes Stephanie's mother, whom Cindy or Max have no type of relationship with, and various other family members we do not have a relationship with. Cindy and Max want nothing to do with Stephanie. But, by the way, you should want to listen to full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search Storytime, and you can listen for hours and hours. We have a little bit more story.
Yeah, no, she's not coming to the wedding then. If she doesn't want to behave, stop being a little poo-poo, Stephanie. You didn't ever act like a mom. You gave up your rights to be a mom.
Yeah, you didn't raise
you
her.
Fully said,
you weren't
don't
there.
want to be a mom.
So why now do you feel entitled to be the mother of the bride when you weren't there ever?
It's just for show at this point.
My mother is another story. My mother wants to compromise with either us acting as co-mothers of the bride, or if I give Cindy away, maybe we should just make Stephanie mother of the bride. My mom isn't one to have conflict with strangers. Myself is another story. I am Team Cindy and told her I will do whatever you need. Cindy said Stephanie is a guest or nothing at all. My mother and father are helping to pay, and they insist we keep the peace. My mother said I don't understand what Stephanie is going through because I have never birthed a child. I am very close to writing my parents a check and paying their share. Any advice? Yeah, I would do that as well.
Yeah.
For your own mother, again, to throw it back in that, well, you haven't had children. It's like she gave up her parental rights. She signed away any obligation or responsibility she had to this child.
Yeah.
And now she wants to come around like she's her mother. You have to raise somebody to be their mother.
Yeah, coming out of this person doesn't just automatically be like, yes, you have all the rights of all the last years that you were ignoring me to come back and be my mom.
Maybe it would be different if there wasn't, OP in the picture and it was like, oh, well, I lost my father. Now I guess my estranged mother is coming back into the picture and it's better than having no one. OP is Cindy's mother for all intents and purposes. These people are insane.
Yeah. Cindy's wedding, too. Like, if Cindy's telling you that that's what she wants to do, that's what her wedding should do. It's Cindy's wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let Cindy walk herself down the aisle if she wants to. But she should get what she wants. Her wedding.
But we do have comments on our video. My ex's father called me a slur. This is from September 11th, 2025. This is the story 1, so the first story. And a quick TLDR here. OP, 21 male, dated his ex, 19 female, and her super strict dad just found out they slept together. Now the dad is calling OP's parents, calling him a man and trying to shame him for taking her virginity. OP's family is caught in the middle, and things are about to get really awkward. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video. And we do have some comments here. The first comment here, it's a little lengthy one, so be prepared. This is from Katie6551. I was raised Christian, and I love my parents, but the talk was terrible. Again, the talk. Okay. A cartoon book written by our pastor at the time, and they whipped the book out of our favorite restaurant when I was a kid, and proceeded to make out with tongue and pass a mint back and forth after. What? What?
What?
What did I just read? Hold on.
They were like, let me show you how it works. Let me show you how this works, baby.
Yeah, I read that correctly. A cartoon book written by our pastor at the time, and they whipped out the book at our favorite restaurant when I was a kid, and proceeded to make out with tongue and pass a mint back and forth after. Oh my god. I will never forget that nasty memory, and neither will I now. Thank you for that. I learned nothing about feminine hygiene or anything of the sort, and had to figure it out from my teenage to young adult years. I have a relationship with God and truly appreciate my parents, but I have no intention of going about that topic anywhere near the way my parents did, and not leave out important things like hygiene, safety, and honesty. I never was able to talk to my parents about it. When I lost my V card, my mom actually went crazy, took us to a restaurant, and she freaked me out, and I had to hide in the bathroom until I felt safe. Wow. This is...
Girl, this commenter's a whole story in its own.
Then, now as a married woman, my mom makes a lot, and a lot is emphasized, of uncomfortable spicy jokes that seems like she wants to know about our spicy time. She nags my dad nonstop, then makes jokes about wanting to go home and do the do. It makes my spouse and myself very uncomfortable.
Wow.
That's a comment for the ages.
How many of you guys in the chat had the American Girl doll one? American Girl doll book about this?
Oh, there's an American Girl doll book about how reproduction works?
About women's bodies.
I don't know anything about that.
Let me know.
All right, well, we have another comment here. Reading another comment here by Megan Corcoran, 1952. It's so weird that dads are so involved in the virginity of their legal adult daughter. That's crossing so many boundaries.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hyman.
I did not read this story.
I don't remember this story.
Come on, that was a good one, right?
I don't think I was here for it.
Reading the final comment here for this story. Queen of the Zombie Apocalypse says, pretty sure that if the dad hooks up, it cancels out whatever OP and the ex-girlfriend did. That's probably what he meant by fixing it. That is the end of those comments and the end of this episode.
So if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.